Come on in, Scott. I'm gonna try.
Testing? We're working? Awesome.
Hey.
I need the clicker though.
You may.
Thank you very much. How's everyone today? Great. I want to share a little bit with you about Cashmob. Cashmob's a movement. It's been around for about 4.5 years now, and we have a dedicated client base, and we've raised money in the millions. But Cashmob isn't a business. It is a movement, like I said. As organizers, we don't make any money, we don't spend any money, but all we do is raise awareness and raise cash for local business. In 2012, my friend Dale Johnson and I co-founded Cashmob Chilliwack. I'm here today to show you what we do, tell you who we are, and explain how one random act of racism changed us forever. First off, we can't take credit for the whole Cashmob concept. It originated in the American Northeast. But since then, independent cash mobs have been popping up all over the place. And I'm not sure where we lie in the whole cash mob chronology, but I can tell you that up here in Canada, our little city of Chilliwack, British Columbia, has some of the best cash mobs in the world. Here's a video we released to promote our first event. My name is Scott McVetty, and I'm here to talk today about Cashmob Chilliwack.
I am Dale Johnson, and this is Cashmob Chilliwack.
I love Chilliwack because of the people. I've been in many different cities over the course of my life, and the people in Chilliwack are just a little more genuine and a little more sincere. And those are the same people that are running the local businesses here, and those are the people that we would love to support with Cashmob Chilliwack.
So I saw a story about Cashmob, and I said to my wife, what a great idea. We should try and do something like that ourselves. And we pitched it to a friend, Scott, and his wife, and they were in full support, so away we went. We set a date a month in advance and made the agreement with each other that we would spend no money, and we would just do a total grassroots type promotion to see where we can get with it. So, at this time we've got 100 plus people liked us on Facebook, and we're hoping to have a huge turnout on June 1st at 7 p.m.
So the idea of Cashmob is it takes all the good aspects of a flash mob without the singing and dancing and combines it with the shop local philosophy, which just encourages people to shop at the locally owned and operated stores within their own communities.
Every election cycle for City Council in Chilliwack always asks the same question for, as long as I've known. What are we going to do about downtown? What are we going to do about the unique character and businesses in this town? And the answer always seems to be looking for government to answer the question. I think that it's up to the people who live here to support the business.
The first Chilliwack Cash Mob will be on June 1st, and we're all meeting at the park at the end of Mill Street and Victoria here in Chilliwack at 7 p.m. And once the group converges, we will announce the store that we're going to be supporting that night. And en masse, everybody will proceed to the store and spend at least $20 at the store. And after that, we're going to have an after party at a local establishment where we can have a celebratory drink and meet some new friends.
So for everybody who sees this video, first off, like us on Facebook, share it with your friends, let people know about our event. Second, get out there and support local business. If you can't make it to the Cash Mob, it doesn't mean you can't come down the next day or the day before and still shop downtown. Show the local merchants that you care.
So that was our first video. I looked a lot, oh, thank you. I looked a lot less nervous on there. But anyway, our evolution does come from the flash mob, much to my chagrin. The joke I have for people is, if you can't sing and you can't dance, or no, actually, it's a cash mob is a flash mob for people that can't sing or dance. So if you have 2 left feet or can't carry a tune, you're with us. And singers and dancers are welcome too, but that's not what it's about, because we replaced that with the shop local philosophy. So in a nutshell, what we are is a large group of people who converge on a specific business at a specific time and spend a little money. And again, in the video I said at least $20, but that's just a recommendation. It's just more important that you come out and show your support, and if you want to spend a little money, that's great. And again, it's all about shopping local. Oh. So what we do, we also try to build community. We've learned over the years that that's a very important aspect of our cash mobs. We always have games that encourages people to interact with each other and build community. At this one, all the participants were given a little card that kind of resembled a Scrabble chip. local merchants donated prizes, and people had to interact with each other and come up with Scrabble words, and the best words won the prizes. And then after the games, everybody would proceed like my slides are supposed to. Here we go. Everybody would proceed to the store and hopefully do a little bit of business. And here's some footage from our first cash mob. It was actually just around the corner from here. And we supported 2 businesses that day. We went to a candy shop and we went to a bookstore. And a lot of these people that you see in these videos have gone to every single event. And we've actually done 8 cash mob events in total so far. So it's been a big success. And there is one misconception that a lot of people have, that we're some sort of like charity for these businesses that we support, and I don't believe it's a charity at all. We're not there as a handout. The people that support Cash Mob are buying goods and services that they want or need, and our hope as organizers are that we will pair an existing business with new clients that will become regulars and continue to come. So we did a number of these events, and they were all, by all counts, a success. We averaged maybe 100 to 150 people per event, and for a city of our size, that's very good. We raised lots of money, we raised lots of awareness. And somewhere along the lines, I guess we got a little bit bored, and being that we're in Canada, we thought maybe we should support our local junior hockey team. So that's what we did. We set out to do a cash mob for them. Here's a screenshot of the promotional video. I'm not going to play it for you, but it featured the team mascot and myself on guitar doing my best Bob Dylan impersonation. I sang a song called the Cash Mob Blues, and remember earlier when I said that cash mobs were for people that can't sing or dance? This proves it. But again, we don't spend any money on promotion, so we were a little nervous because we had 1 like, and thanks Mom if you're watching. But luckily for us, this event was still considered newsworthy, so the local radio, the local newspapers picked it up and ran with it, and people found out about it. And I'm happy to say that on top of the regular crowd that already goes to these games, we brought in 700 screaming Cash Mob fans to cheer on the Chilliwack Chiefs. Thank you. And that was great. The only disappointment was a personal one. I didn't get to sing the anthem. I was really hoping, but it didn't happen. And then something changed for us. There was, every once in a while, there's a news story that just captures the media's attention. And that's what happened here. I mentioned earlier there was a random act of racism. Well, one person claiming to be the voice of our city wrote a hurtful, racially charged letter to the 2 Indian food restaurants here in town. And news traveled really, really fast. I actually found out about this from a friend in Niagara Falls, and it happened here. And the next thing I know, my phone rings, and it's the mayor. She's wondering if we could do a cash mob in support of this. And we try not to be political, but we didn't need to after all. It was a good thing. I can tell you from being in the eye of the storm that for 3 days anyway, it was a frenzy. There were film crews from all over the place just looking for a soundbite or a snippet. But there was a silver lining, because over those 3 days, it slowly stopped being about that letter and started being about the cash mob. I have another newsreel for you. It was filmed the morning of the cash mob, just as things were starting to ramp up.
The city of Chilliwack came out in full force on Friday to show their support for local restaurants recently attacked by racist and hateful emails. The anonymous sender claimed his views were on behalf of the city, but residents state that's simply not the case. So they organized a cash mob.
The cash mob, we're basically taking the flash mob idea and combining it with the shop local philosophy. So there's no singing and dancing, but everybody spends a little bit of money at a locally owned business in town. Everybody knows about the emails that were sent out, and nobody in town wants to have, everybody in the world think that their opinions were reflected by one person with an anonymous email. So the cash mob is the best way to show it. Everybody comes out and shows their support and has a great meal.
We came out to support the cash mob today. We were not happy because that's not really the way people feel in Chilliwack.
Our community is very accepting of different ethnic groups, and it's disappointing when people are racist and say things that are nasty, and we just want to show our support that, Chilliwack has been very accepting of different ethnic groups, and we have a wide variety of ethnic restaurants in our town, and just another way to support them and come out and let them know that person doesn't speak for the majority of Chilliwack people.
Yeah, if there's ever any doubt as to whether they were accepted in Chilliwack or welcome, I think today should be proof that they absolutely are, and they should feel that they have just as much right to be here as anyone else, and that no one has the right to try and scare them off.
For VancouverDesi.com, I'm Larissa Cahoot.
So if I had $1 for every time I told a news crew we don't sing or dance, I'd probably be pretty rich right now myself. But I am happy to say that after that event, it literally went from being about the hate to being about the love, because 1,500 people went out for Indian food that day. Yeah. To give you some perspective, there's only 85 seats between those two restaurants. And look how many people came for dinner. So we've done a few more events since then, but they've all been rallying around community outcry or concern. We did an event for a local coffee shop about a year ago. They were having some leasing issues and actually facing eviction. And to build community for this one, because that's one of the things we do, we made a paparazzi wall. And we had a photographer there taking pictures of everybody as they came in. And they were posted in real time to Facebook. So if you were there and you had friends on Facebook, they knew you were there. And our hopes are they would come out too. And I think they probably did, because we had 450 people come out to show support for that event. And yeah, he didn't get the memo about the singing and dancing, unfortunately. And most recently, it was about 3 months ago, there was a local restaurant owner in hospital fighting for his life. And the banks had frozen all his accounts. So we organized what was, to my knowledge, the first cash-only cash mob. And 650 people came out to show support. And that's a great thing, because it's all about the love with Cashmob. And that brings me to the inevitable question about where do we go next, and where do we go from here? And I always hate answering that question, because somehow I feel like I sound like Batman or something, saying things like, wherever there's injustice, we'll be there. And it's not about us as the organizers, it's about the business, and it's about the people. And that's when it hit me that anybody that comes to one of our cash mobs, or anybody that likes to shop local, or for that matter, anybody that just cares enough about their city that they do something about it, those are the superheroes, not us. We send out the signal, and hundreds of local superheroes come out to show they care. It started out with us trying to inspire a community to support local business, and just like that, it turned into a community supporting local business that really inspires us. Thank you.
That was Scott McVetty. He must have been awesome. I'm totally going to make him do that speech one more time so I can hear every word of it. Just before we get into our last speaker before lunch, we